Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to our weekly head-to-head show. We've got a really interesting one for you guys today. We're going to do Antony versus Sancho league stats only. And alongside me to navigate you lot through this show is the usual suspect, Samuel McCabe. How you doing, Sam?
All right, mate. I'm over this transfer window already. I'm done with it. I'm actually done with it. So
yeah,
just get some football back on and just watch some games, please. Because
like my left eye currently, I'm getting more and more irritated by the day with this transfer window. It's shocking to say the least. But yeah, this show is going to take your mind off how shit we're doing in that. So yeah, hopefully we can take your mind off it for 20 minutes or so. For anyone who hasn't seen this show before, me and Sam break down two players in a head-to-head comparison and form an opinion based off stats and profile. As I said before, the two chosen players we have gone with is Antony and Sancho. One is a current player, of course, who started off slow and then started to kind of look like the Jadon Sancho from Dortmund. Like second half of the season, won it up until December, would you say?
Yeah, and then the whole team just kind of went to shit, didn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think
besides Ronaldo, everybody went to shit.
I think he got injured as well, didn't he? Towards the end, he had tonsillitis or something like that. Yeah. So that's obviously Jadon Sancho. You know him, and then the other player is a player at Ajax who we're heavily linked with. Very talented young boy who's on the rise now. I don't think personally, but the deal, I'm going to get into it a little bit later on. I personally don't think we're going to get him. I don't know why. I've just got this gut feeling. Just because I know what our club's like. We'll take that long on De Jong. We'll end up with loan deals towards the end of the transfer window. But yeah, that's who we're going to be taking a look at.
Ismail Lassar on the fucking loan deal from Watford. I can see
God, don't.
Calling it now.
Jesus, depressing times. But yeah, if you're new to this show, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Pushing for 200 subs. It's slowed down a little bit now, so we'd appreciate any support you guys can give. Are we ready, Sam?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Okay, so the 6-point list. I keep bloody muting me, Mike. Sorry about that. The 6-point list I want to dig into. So when you look at wingers, right? What do we want? We want pace, great dribbling in general and 1v1 situations, creativity, athleticism, good on both feet, and consistency. That's what I'd go for. I don't know.
Can cross as well, cross the ball.
Yeah, can cross. Yeah.
My God,
especially when you got Ronaldo.
We've not had a good cross of the ball for, it seems like, a long time.
Yeah.
A long fucking time. So
I remember when we was linked with, I know Tottenham's just signed him now, but under Mourinho, when we was linked with Perisic, because Perisic is a really good crosser of the ball. I think he'd be perfect for someone like Ronaldo, who's great in the air. It's weird, isn't it? Because when we actually watch us play, we're good. Like our main threats.
Never cross the ball.
Yeah.
Never cross the ball.
Our main threats are down like the left-hand side, let's say, where Shaw and Rashford was, or Sancho. But we never get a ball into the box. It's weird. I don't like. It's always either like link-up play or.
They always want to cut in. It's Rashford. He wants to cut in and he wants to drill it and shoot. Sancho, he wants to cut in and dribble past defenders and then maybe get a pass off or get a shot off and something like that. Nobody crosses the ball, and it's like you've got one of the best headers of the ball in the world, and he's still got it, and nobody's put a ball on his head. Nobody.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like these traits that we just mentioned there should be on a scout report when looking at wingers. So I thought it was valid to mention them.
United used to have such a great tradition as well of like great wingers. We used to have Ryan Giggs, Chelsea, Beckett. Like we used to have fantastic wingers.
Like
we had this history of doing it, and it's just we've not had one for so long.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had a fantastic one for so long.
When was the last out-and-out winger we had who could really cross the ball? You say Valencia? Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
Probably Valencia.
I feel like, but when did he leave? Like 10 years ago or something, was it?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
Before that,
that's crazy.
Ryan Giggs?
I don't even know because even when we had that.
I know he moved into central midfield like late towards the end of his career, but I think Ryan Giggs was the last winger.
I know Wes Brown put in the iconic cross for Ronaldo in the Champions League final, didn't he? Yeah. But I'm even thinking of that team. We played with like Tevez, Rooney, and Ronaldo.
Who weren't wingers.
like they're not exactly technical professionals.
I know
You know what I
Ronaldo
mean?
started there, but like once he got going in his United career, you realise this guy's not gonna be
exactly, yeah. And he would drive at people, he'd beat a man, and then have a shot off, like similar to like what Rashford does, or what Rashford did, should I say? So yeah, is what it is. I will be taking a look at the Brazilian Antony, so I'm going to go take you through his stats and give you guys a little bit of a profile, and Sam will be taking a closer look at our very own Jadon Sancho. So first off, we want to give the player profile before we get into the stats. Antony, Brazilian international, 22 years old, a left-footed winger who currently plays for Ajax and is valued around 50 to 60 million pound. Strengths include high pressing, playmaking, and 1v1 situations. Weaknesses, decision-making at times. Not as bad as Rashford, but the odd time he is a bit suspect in that department.
Rashford's decision-making,
non-existent.
Anybody worse at his at the minute. Like his is abysmal.
Yeah, so I wanted to put out there, he's not like Rashford bad at decision making, but he's he has the odd one where you're like, He's also very dominant on his left foot as well. He's not great on his right foot, similar to Gareth Bale, I'd probably say, if I was to give a comparison. So yeah, do you want to give us a quick profile on Jadon, Sam?
Yeah, Jadon Sancho, again, 22 also. So they're both quite young lads. Excuse me. Widely known as one of the best young players in the world, known for trickery, game intelligence, pace, and use of feints. Again, in one-on-one situations, he likes to take people on. Used to be a youth player for Watford, moved to City, didn't really get his chance, ended up signing his first senior contract for Borussia Dortmund. Established himself as first-team regular in 2018-19. 2019-20 won his first trophy with the DFL Super Cup. Runner-up for the Copa Trophy, which is basically like the sort of best guy in the league. 40-man shortlist for the Golden Boy in 2020, and in 2021 signed for Manchester United after it seemed about 10 bloody years of chasing him, like a 2-year-long fucking pursuit of Jadon Sancho, and it just proves our point: we can't do deals. And he signed for Manchester United. Since signing for Manchester United, I think we'll get into the stats later, but he's shown promises and glimpses of what he can do, but I don't think he's reached the heights of what he's done at Dortmund just yet. But I think the potential and the player is there. It's just we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Obviously, some of us are familiar with Jadon Sancho, but we have to give a profile for some guys who are not familiar with certain things. Yeah, let's break down the stats then. So the first criteria is appearances, assists, and goals. So Antony has 23. I want to try guess Sancho's because he didn't play towards
it's more than you think.
Is it?
Yeah.
28?
29.
Oh, so it's one off.
But he only started 20 of them though.
Mm-hmm.
So there was 9 substitute appearances in there, which is quite a lot considering you spent. How much did we spend? 75 mil?
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a lot of appearances, considering he's supposed to be a first-team player and already made
it. So. He did have that adjustment period at the start of the season when he looked a bit leggy, should I say, adjusting to the fitness and stuff. And then he
has reputation for starting slow seasons. Yeah, like he always has. He's done it for Dortmund.
Exactly. I think he's got a year under his belt now. I think you'll see he'll be a massively improved player under Ten Hag. I really think that. And maybe the potential of Antony as well. But again, we'll get into that a little bit later. So goals and assists. So Antony has 4 goals and 8 assists, which I thought he'd have a bit more, if I'm honest. I know it's 23, and it's not a bad return. So he's got 12 in goal involvements. It's like 50% of his games. But I thought he would have more, to be fair. I know Sancho's will be pretty low, won't it? I imagine.
Yeah, he's got 3 goals, 3 assists. So it's about similar stats. I think it's very harsh to look at Sancho's stats in this United team, particularly after the season we've had. I think he's been in a terrible team in terrible form. So he's not really had the sort of full. Maybe like this season, it might be after the season, it'd be good to sort of compare him after he's got a full season under Ten Hag and stuff like that. But
also, as well, assists and goals aren't everything, are they? We know like his actual creativity, his dribbling and stuff like that, which we're going to have a look at now. But yeah, it's interesting because both of them haven't got like proper eye-catching stats where you're like, holy shit. If you look at like someone like Vinicius, you know, I'm a massive fan of in La Liga, his stats, like double figures in goals and assists.
It's a high level that though, isn't it?
Yeah. But they have similar talent range. Like Jadon Sancho, don't forget, was one of the best wings in Europe at Dortmund. So again, it's just a settling in phase. That'll be like a recurring theme.
In United, he's playing with players who don't give a shit. 10 of them are going to leave or have already left. In Real Madrid, he's playing with fantastic players surrounding him, and they're only buying better players. He's got Carlo Ancelotti, who's arguably one of the best coaches on the planet. So
Don Carlo.
He's got a lot of advantages that Sancho doesn't have currently. Hopefully it changes, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the next department we're going to look at, so this is based around passing and creativity. So we've got big chances created, key passes per game, and accurate pass percentage per game. Big chances created, 7. How many has Jadon got?
Sancho's 5.
5. They're very similar again, aren't they? Close on assists and goals, close on big chances created. Key passes per game, 1.7 for Antony.
It's slightly lower at 1.4, but it's not far off, but a little bit lower.
Yeah. Also, as well, it's important to mention Antony is in a fluid, was in a fluid Ten Hag system. Who, you know, in terms of like profile playing football, there was a philosophy, and everyone, you know, dominating
the league, doing well in Champions League, winning the what's their cup called?
Eredivisie. Or
the cup. Did they lose?
Oh, I don't know. Dutch Cup. Yeah, they lost it to PSV, didn't they?
They got to the final, but yeah.
Yeah, Sangare got man of the match, didn't he?
United didn't do any of that shit.
Yeah.
We got nowhere close to anything, so.
Yeah, they also got further. Did they get further than us in the Champions League or same stage? They went out to Sporting, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think. So I don't know if that was same stage. Or...
I think that helps when you're playing in a team full of confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
Winning and doing well.
Yeah.
I think you take more risks, and then when you take more risks, more of it's likely to come off. Because a lot of people have a go at Bruno, going, "Oh, he's the biggest loser of possession of the ball." I was like, but that's his job. His job is to play the risky pass and the forward pass. So he's going to lose the ball more. And when you're playing shit, it gets highlighted more because it's like, oh, he's losing the ball. It's just like, yeah, because that's his job. Like if we were playing well and we're winning games and Bruno was losing the ball, they'd be like, you won't be asked. Nobody would be bothered because it's like, oh, at least he's trying. And I think that's the difference. Yeah,
if you used to look at Leo Messi's stats, percentage and losing ball and stuff, it's quite a lot because he's trying it a lot. So naturally, the stats are going to come down. I hate that narrative people spin on people saying, if you look at that percentage of how many misplaced passes and stuff, like you need to put things into context. So it's important to mention things as we go through these stats.
That's a misleading. Like you look at Scott McTominay's things, oh, his accurate passes are really good and stuff. It's like, yeah, but he's playing sideways, backwards passes 5 yards. Of course, it's going to be accurate. Like, you need to look, like you said, look at the context and the stats that are in the team that they're in and how they're playing. So
exactly. If you used to take Lindelof's stats from the Atletico Madrid game, I think the first leg he had 95% pass accuracy, but it was all in our half. So it means absolutely nothing. When you look at that, that's why you need to dive into certain ones because then you check the final third or like the opposition half, how accurate it is, and you'll see it'll be much lower. So again, it's all about context. Accurate pass percentage, I'm very interested in this one. So for Antony, 36.6, 82%.
There's 26.9, but 84%. So it's a slightly higher.
Oh, it's higher percentage. Okay.
But
okay.
Like we said, the amount of passes is slightly down, but
yeah. Well, comes back. I mentioned before with Antony, one of his weaknesses is decision making at times, so that's something he can improve on. Dribble succession, Sam, 1.8 for Antony, 56%.
Let me just find successful dribbles. Are we on? Is that right?
Yeah.
1.6, 55%.
Okay, so literally 1% in it in terms of beating a man. Yeah, very, very close.
Very, very similar players.
Extremely similar. Exactly. Both of them winning over 50% of the dribbles, which is always nice to hear. I know Rashford's one was like 44% last season, which is just absolutely shocking. However, he does have 4 goals and 3 assists, I think, so he's similar in that vein, but yeah, he hasn't had as decent season as Antony has for Eredivisie. He's nowhere near it. What we on? Possession lost. Now this will be interesting again. 16.2 for Antony.
10.1. So it seems like Sancho
much more careful with the ball.
A lot more.
Definitely.
And he seems to not lose it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's taking less risks with his dribbles. Maybe he's better at retaining the ball and doesn't open his body up too much and to sort of invite the tackle and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure. Sort of again, I've only watched Antony in the Champions League. I haven't watched the Eredivisie this year. So
well, let's be honest, like you say it all the time, Sam. These people that are like that watch Eredivisie week in, week out religious, like maybe there is the odd person out there who does that. Don't get it wrong, there will be someone, but most people don't watch Eredivisie week in, week out. So the only kind of platform you can see him on is the Champions League, innit? And he has done really well in Champions League, but of course this is league-based stats. So I'm going to go to the was fouled bit. That's 1.3. So to put that into context, someone like Jack Grealish, or who gets fouled a lot, I'll say Jack Grealish and Zaha, let's say, usually they'll have about 2.1, something like that, and that's quite high. So Antony's 1.3.
Sancho is 0.2.
Okay. Wow,
so
that has surprised me.
Not getting fouled at all. So either he's getting past him, and not getting a foul, or they're not committing to tackling him or something. They're sort of standing off him a bit more.
Definitely.
So I'm not sure which it is.
And how many touches per game does Jadon have?
Tackles per game.
Antony, touches per game for Antony is 65.7.
All right, so he's having more touches. So Sancho's only having 44.
See, that for me, it makes Sancho's stats more impressive because we spoke about it then, in a shit team, a very shit Manchester United team, is a lot like a third less involved than Antony is in the game. So his stats alone off that would drop off, but he's competing with Antony in that sense. Yeah, 65.7 and his was 45, did you say? 44. Yeah, I think they are Sancho is going to go up a lot when Ten Hag comes in. He's going to be like, for me at least, I feel like he's going to be the main player under Ten Hag who evolves.
I'm hoping if we get a midfielder two, like De Jong, I'm hoping Sancho sees more of the ball, because I think
definitely
that's going to be an outlet in it, because we've not had a midfielder for so long who can play a ball beside Bruno, but Bruno's further up the pitch. Yeah. So for him to do it, you'd have to drop back, get the ball, and then push up. And by that time, you've lost the attack. The momentum's gone. But if you've got someone like De Jong in your number 8 or number 6, and he's got the ball, he's got the capability. He sees Sancho, ping, ball over the top, or behind the defender, you've got it, tax on, and he's good to go. I don't think he's had that enough the season just gone. Nobody's, like, Fred's not playing that ball, despite what he tries. McTominay's not playing that ball. And Bruno's right up where Sancho is normally, on that sort of towards the front.
Yeah, he drifts to the left, doesn't he?
He's not getting that ball a lot of the time. So I think that sort of explains his stats a little bit. But yeah, it'd be interesting if we do get a midfielder. I think his touches per game would go like significantly up.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to be a lot more heavily involved under Ten Hag. I also think like a key element to look at is Ronaldo in that as well. You bring De Jong into it, someone like Antony to balance out the wingers. You'd have Sancho, Antony, Ronaldo, De Jong in that midfield, Bruno as well potentially, and then whatever other midfielder is going to be behind them. Ronaldo will be purring with that creativity. Like he'll actually be getting supplied, which is refreshing, and it'd be nice because he's done a job of relatively short creativity in certain aspects. And he scored 18 goals in the league, 20 plus in all competitions.
He'll also he'll have to drop off less, which is what really annoyed us last season.
Yeah.
Him dropping off, and then there's nobody in the box for anyone to sort of tie it. So he'll be able to drop off less, which means he can stay around the penalty area in the box where he's great, and he won't have to drift left either. Because if we get Antony or Sancho, can Antony play both wings, or is he?
Well, he can do, but I feel like us as a team, we perform a lot on the left-hand side, don't we? Like every game we watch, like that's our strongest side. The right-hand side is non-existent all the time. So the only threat teams have to deal with offensively is that left-hand side. If we deal with that, we're pretty much shut out, to be honest, that way. So you bring Antony into that right-hand side, they've then got both sides to deal with, and they're like, oh shit. And that spreads the defensive line back out. And that's how you start like picking holes in them. Because you look at City, whichever player it goes to on that side of the pitch, when you create that kind of like horseshoe platform, they've got Bernardo Silva on this side, dangerous as fuck, like can just dribble past 4 people with ease. You've got Foden on another side, who's a very talented player, and then players you can interchange and switch and stuff. So they've constantly,
Sterling, you got Mahrez, you got De Bruyne, you got Gundogan. Like there's just so many, and I think that's what we've been missing. We've missing players who could pull defenders out of position.
Yeah.
Because literally all they need to do, like if we play, like we watched it against Crystal Palace and Brighton, just sit back. We ain't gonna blast through you. We ain't gonna get past you. We're not gonna run at you. So just sit back and let it happen. Nothing's gonna happen. So
you have to give defenders consistent things to worry about. If you've got people dropping off into these half spaces and stuff, that's why the false nine is so tricky to deal with. I remember Rio saying in the Champions League final, they didn't even touch Messi. They didn't get anywhere near him, which is like, it's hard for a defense. Yeah, exactly.
You can't predict someone like, if you're playing against Lionel Messi, you can't predict what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have a set thing where he's going to do this, this, and this. It's like he could be over here, he could be over here, he could be behind you. Like you don't know what's going to happen. United are so, like you said, we played down that left. We're so fucking predictable.
Yeah.
Like Luke Shaw, like Harry Maguire gets the ball, he gives it to Luke Shaw. He goes up the
bombs
wing,
on,
gives it to Jadon Sancho, and then he tries to cut in or get the ball.
And then he'll come back, give it to them. We'll go to Bruno. Bruno will switch, and then it's just we know the repetitive patterns. Absolutely spot on. You bring Antony into that fold, I think that changes the dynamic completely. I think you bring. I think the key word is what's it? What's the word I'm thinking of? Not dynamite.
Dynamism.
Dynamic. You're gonna have dynamic wingers who are gonna cause problems on both sides. And yeah, with Antony,
Fergie era, that's what we had.
Yeah, exactly. Beckham and Giggs, quality players. Obviously, different system. Yeah, 4-4-2.
Kanchelskis as well, like one of my previous favorite players. So
Blomqvist as well. I'm not sure if you remember him. I was watching the final back the other day, and I was looking at the team. I was like Blomqvist in it, and it's weird because not many people remember him. Like obviously, when I was growing up, I was 4 when the treble was on, so people like yourself remember players like that. But proper, they're like old-fashioned wingers in that 4-4-2 setup. We're looking for kind of inside forwards who are very creative and dynamic. I think that's what the profile we should be going for. But yeah, on Antony, I think he's a very good winger. Would obviously suit the way Ten Hag wants to play. Good age profile, energetic, loves pressing, has great attitude, and for 50 million, he would be a decent signing. However, for me personally, Sam, I don't know how you feel about this. I'll get your opinion on it as well. I would still rather have a number 9 for the future. I know Darwin Núñez has gone to Liverpool for 80 plus 20 in add-ons, which if United put that bid in, I would be a little bit annoyed, no matter how much I actually like him.
There's news in on Twitter that United were interested, and then when they started talking fees like that, United just went, "No, we're not."
But how do you feel about that though? Knowing our budget, because we've got a budget of what, 120 million?
Rumored to be, yeah. I think it's a lot of money for a player who's had one good season.
Exactly.
Like, I know he did bits in Almeida, but like it's just such a lower level. Like,
it's one of them in it with that.
It's not the Champions League like Benfica were doing. So it's one good season. It's a lot of money. So it's a massive, massive risk if it doesn't come off, because you're going to get criticised if he doesn't sort of hit the. And I don't think somebody like Luis Diaz happens too often, where you buy
very rare in it.
Immediately he's fucking taken to it like a duck to water. So it's a big risk. As a United fan, I'm hoping he absolutely flops. I hope he does a Lukaku.
Yeah, of course. Now, yeah. The next South American Andy Carroll.
Yeah, like bring it on. But Liverpool don't seem to miss.
They rarely miss. Rarely missing it.
It'll be interesting to see. It's going to be that's going to be the Sky Sports graphic in it. Haaland and Núñez. Yeah. That's going to be the
and maybe even Ronaldo on the end of it. A 38 Ronaldo. Like I'm going to absolutely love that if he puts in the same numbers as them two. I'm going to love it, because they're how old's Haaland? Núñez 21, 22, something like that. The next kind of Ballon d'Or competitors with Mbappe and people like that. So if Ronaldo does it again next season, I'll be absolutely buzzing. I think he will, if especially if we bring in someone like Antony. But yeah, going back to what I was saying before with the number 9, it's because if I look at the options we have, or lack of options we have in the forward line, wingers, we've got Rashford, Ahmad, Palestra, Garnacho, Ilanga, and Sancho, who can play there, right?
Technically, we've got Martial, but God knows if he's ever actually.
I'm glad you've mentioned him, actually, because there's a lot of things at the moment saying because we can't get Darwin Núñez, that money will go on Antony, and then our backup striker behind Ronaldo will be Martial, apparently. That's what I'm hearing in a minute.
A bad idea, that.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially look at his loan spell at Sevilla. He's shit.
But his confidence has got to be in the toilet. Like, completely in the toilet. Like, you pushed him out of the team, sent him on loan. He had a shit time, and he's come back. It's like you expected him to perform and be set back up to Ronaldo. Like, you know what Martial's like? He has to be the main man.
Well, that's what he's saying. He wants to be fit. He wants to feel loved. He wants to be the main guy. He doesn't want to be second part. It's weird though, because so the first thing I want to say is it's not out of the realms of possibility, because in terms of talent, Martial's a very good player. Yeah. He just doesn't do it enough on a consistent basis.
But his mentality and his attitude stinks.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. I do think there's a player in there, but then can't the same be same for Rashford? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think there's more chance of Ten Hag getting a tune out of Rashford than there is Martial.
Okay.
I don't think Ten Hag has stand for Martial's attitude and Martial's lack of interest in things. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's a PR stunt from Marcus Rashford's team or whatever, but from what I'm hearing, he's gone to America and he's basically doing a working holiday where he's doing 8 weeks, 6 weeks of pure football, weights, fitness, all that sort of stuff. He's gone out to America to get himself back in shape, which is great to hear if true. You always have to sort of pour a little suspicion on these things because players like to put stuff out, which is not true.
For Instagram, saying, look at me, I'm in the gym training.
Look at Jesse Lingard, for example. So if that's true, I hope that Ten Hag can get something out of him. I don't know if Ten Hag will come across Antony Martial and just like, look, this ain't going to work. You need to go.
Yeah. I feel with Martial, the application off the pitch is wrong, completely wrong. Like you said, with his attitude and stuff. And then I think Rashford's application on the pitch is wrong. Like he shows the right thing. So you're saying with the training and stuff, which I kind of expect for the shit season we've just had. Like me personally, you've seen Elanga in there as well. That's a young kid who's like shredded, absolutely shredded, and he'll be ready for next season. That's a young kid who's doing it. He's probably looking at Ronaldo and thinking, seeing how he kind of conducts himself. Yeah. And I want to do that. So I think Rashford should be doing that 100%. I'm glad he's doing it. Like, don't get me wrong, he could have gone on holiday or whatever.
Could have done a Jesse Lingard and just
exactly.
To Vegas and fucked it off.
But I hope he does. I hope both of them do. If Ten Hag can get a tune out of Martial, then he'll be the first kind of manager to properly do it. I know under Louis van Gaal and even under Mourinho a certain bit, he was decent, but I feel like the talent's there to do it. You've just got to pluck it out of him, and I don't know how he's going to do it. Maybe he's got a plan. Maybe he's going to play more than you think. I don't know, but I can't see us selling him. Who's going to buy him for 200k? And then if they're looking at the loan spell he just had at Sevilla, no one's going to be chomping the bit to go buy him. So
Martial, like in full flight, is one of the most
insane
fantastic players to watch.
Yeah,
it's fantastic to watch. Like when he had that season with Rashford, I was watching, going, this guy has finally got it.
Incredible,
and he's realised his fucking talent.
Yeah,
and then it's all
that
gone.
That NHS, when they had the NHS love art thing on the thing, that season when there's no fans in the ground and stuff, he was insane. Someone that like his drop off play, is in behind, his finishing, really really good. And I thought I keep going back to this always. I thought Mason, Marcus, and Martial was going to be like the front line for the next 5-6 years. The numbers he was putting in was insane, like second to Firmino, Mane, and Salah. And now we look at it and it's like we're going to have Antony, Sancho, and Ronaldo maybe, which is a completely new forward line. Interesting looking into the future. But yeah, going back to the lads we was comparing before, Sancho and Antony, if I was to compare Antony to someone, I'd actually say he's like Sancho in it. Like we were saying it then throughout the full thing. They're very similar in certain, in a lot of comparisons. Both great 1v1 creativity and dribbling. Now, obviously, he's better than most of the options we have. And again, as I said before, having a trio of Ronaldo, Sancho, and Antony, I would love. It'd be great. It'd be dangerous, and I'm all for it. But whichever way we look at it, I'm kind of left asking the question, like, which position are we going to neglect going into the season? Because it's going to be one of them. If we know how, we're saying about 120 mil budget, you spend 70 mil on De Jong, which is looking like we're going to do with 10 mil add-ons. You've got 40 mil to play about. You signed Timber. Maybe Eriksen on free. Like, how are they going to do it? Unless outgoings as well.
I think obviously, there's so many positions we're in need of. So, probably need a goalkeeper, if we're honest. because De Gea is not the modern goalkeeper that we all want him to be, as much as we all love him. Fullbacks probably need both a right and a left fullback, if we're honest. I don't think that's going to happen this season, this transfer window. So that's going to get neglected. There's a lot of noise around the centre-back, so I assume centre-back is one of the priority positions. Midfield is obviously another priority. So they're the two that are definitely going to happen. And then it's basically a toss-up. It's like, do we get a winger or do we get a striker? That's the choices, because we're not going to buy a fullback. We're not going to buy a goalkeeper. So that's the two. So I think Eriksen would be a very smart pickup, personally.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Because he can be used in a number of positions. He's experienced enough quality, as we saw when he played us at Old Trafford, and he's done really well for Brentford. Still at a very good level.
He's not going to be stupid either. He's going to be asking for 300-400 grand a week. Like, he's not going to be asking for that. Yeah. So.
And the way in reality, if you're not paying a transfer fee for him, it doesn't really matter too much anyway. We was paying Cavani like 200k a week. Just give him like a 2-year contract or something. So Eriksen, I would 100% take on a steal. But going back to the point you were saying then, or we was discussing then, should I say, let us know, guys, what position you think is going to be neglected. Well, what did you say, Sam? Who do you think would end up going? Do you think we're going to do centre-back, centre-mid winger, or striker?
I think we're going to end up with De Jong. I think a centre-back's going to come in. I don't know if it's going to be Timber or Pau Torres.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix at the minute, isn't it?
I don't know who it's going to be at this point. It could be either of them.
Yeah.
I think we may end up... I think we're just going to get Eriksen. Personally, I think Eriksen, De Jong, and then the centre back. I think that's going to be our business.
Wow.
Because Antony, great prospect, but it's 50 mil, isn't it? So unless we sell quite a few players, where's that money coming from? Because like you said, 70, 80 million for De Jong, 30 odd million, 40 million maybe for Timber. Eriksen on a free with his wages. Where's the money coming for Antony? Where's the 50 mil coming from?
The thing that worries me with outgoings is the reason why we struggle to sell players so much, and we've got a list of about 10 people, is two things for me, right? One is the big wages we pay them. So we're paying like people 150 grand, 200 grand who aren't even regulars for us, which is just insane. Then it's the fact that teams around Europe know we're desperate to sell players. Like, they know we've got so many players that we need to offload. So they're kind of like, listen, mate, we'll just wait until the end of August and pick them up then. When you're desperate to sell them even more, like, we're happy to wait. We're in no rush at all. So they're the two things which I think are really hindering us in terms of outgoings. We've seen people going free because the contracts have ended, but we haven't sold a player yet. So, and we're 3 weeks into June now. So when is this all going to start? Like, the outgoings and incomings, is it? I just don't understand it personally.
It's worrying because, like, when did City wrap the Haaland deal up in what, April?
Basically,
was it April or something like that?
No, it was May towards the end of the season. There was murmurs of it, and then obviously the end of May, it was like basically it's done deal. We're just waiting for the transfer window to open to announce it.
They've wrapped that up. Liverpool spoke, like, we were talking to Nunez and doing all this, and Liverpool, as soon as within 2-3 days, deal was done. Chelsea are making moves. Spurs have got 4 players.
Bissouma for 25 mil.
Fucking hell, like, Jesus.
For 25 million is just nuts. Out of Brighton, Brighton not asking for 40, 50 mil? Easy. So
if it was United, that'd be 50 million pounds.
Oh,
Guarantee it.
Yeah.
Guarantee it'd be 50 million.
With like 20 mil add-ons, 10 mil add-ons or something.
So they got, like, last year they got Bentancur and Kulusevski. Now they've got Bissouma, Pulisic. Is it not Pulisic?
Not Pulisic. Perisic, yeah.
Perisic.
They're looking at that right back from Nottingham Forest as well.
Spencer,
he's very good. Spence, yeah.
So they're very getting players through the door, and it's like transfer window's not been open a week, and they're already like sorting shit out. I know Chelsea are going to go because that's what they do. They spend money, so they're definitely.
Real Madrid, Sam, have just won the Champions League, and they just signed Tchouaméni and Rudiger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like they just extended Modric's contract. Casemiro's contract as well, I think, or Cruz's contract.
They bought Camavinga last year.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's absolutely not. What are we doing? Like, we just stood still, doing fuck all. All these targets going, like your Basumas, Kamaras. Like, what's to say if we don't get De Jong? Who are we going to go get then? Maybe Lima. Someone like Lima, who's in the Bundesliga, a very good player. Bayern are probably going to end up snatching him up. He'll be gone. Then you're left with Neves, and we'll end up be haggling with Neves towards the back end of August for like 70 mil.
Wolves are going to come in. Like, we'll be haggling with Neves, and then Wolves will swoop in and get Sangara from PSV.
Yeah.
And just don't get
street business from them. You know what I mean?
We'll pay fucking 80 million for Ruben Neves, and I like Neves a lot. I think he's a great player, but he's not worth 80 million pounds.
Definitely not.
He's not.
No, the market's crazy at the moment. You can't say if you're like a Wolves representative or an agent or whatever, you want 70 mil for Neves when Basuma's just gone for 25. Like, I can't see a world where, obviously they will say that, and we'll probably pay that, but that doesn't make sense to me. That price tag for Basuma is really, really, really mad. In a world like this now, I don't know why. If he had how long he left on his contract, mate, I'll have to look into that because it's not right that 25 mil.
There's a lot of rumors because of the alleged court case that's going on. Apparently, that had something to do with it. Like, they just didn't want to deal with the possible, because I know it's pending. Like, it hasn't happened yet. So I think maybe like Brighton were just like, look, let's just cut our losses because this might get a bit tricky. So.
Also, Brighton have signed Casido, who we was linked with, who scored against us, if you remember. He's
a United fan as well.
Yeah.
Like,
so we was going to sign him for 5 million. We opted against it, and then he's becoming like a decent player for Brighton, like growing.
Like I think he said in an interview, he's like, my dream is to play for Man United. And we just went, nah.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
No one is not going to spend 5 million, like. Even though they took 10 mil out in January for dividends, twats.
5 million on a player who loves United, wants to play for us, and his dream is to play for us.
And is a DM. Like, yeah. Anyway, it's gone on a bit of a tangent.
I can't wait. If there's we need to get some protests going, because my God.
Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? I think if this De Jong deal goes south, Sam, it's going to be mad for this. The fan base is going to go absolutely nuts. You cannot spend 4 weeks on a deal. When Barca are like, we want 80, 85, and we're like, we'll give you 70 or 60 plus add-ons. And they're like, no, we want 80. You can't just do that for 5-6 weeks and then just go, nah.
That's what we do every time, though. That's what we did it for Wan-Bissaka.
I know.
We did it for Ian Maguire. We did it for who else did we do it for?
Fucking loads, Fred. We paid 50 million for Fred, for God's sake.
Like, we are the worst negotiators on the planet, and every single club around Europe knows this. So they know they can slap a price down and go. They're gonna pay it eventually. Might not be now, but weeks down the line before the end transfer, they'll fucking pay it. So we'll just slap it down, and let it. Roll.
I think they're hanging on to the hope that Barcelona are in really, really bad debt. But I just feel like Barcelona are going to whip something out the back and just be like, right, we've sorted this deal out now with another. Do you know what I mean? Like a sponsorship or something.
They've got David Blaine shit going on in their account.
Like, they've got fucking 5 assigns at the new camp and weddings and shit going on, like bringing in revenue for the crazy. And they're still making deals. They're talking to Lewandowski. They're talking to loads of different players.
And they can't register players. They can't register any of them. And it's just like, it's still going.
It's mad. Let's hope for the next week we get something significant, even if it's like a bid gone in, bid's been accepted, just something like that, please. Then you'll see hopefully a domino effect of the rest of the deals, and they know what budget they're working with, etc. Fingers crossed for that. But
sign Ericsson. Some money at him.
Just go get him. Very easy deal. Yeah, that'll just give them that United for a week whilst you're working on a deal. We'll be happy with that. We could talk about it for a week and then announce De Jong, whatever you want to do. In regards to the head-to-head we've just done, guys, let us know who you would prefer. Now, obviously, we've already got Jadon Sancho. We understand that, but what player you prefer personally and the reasons why? Really interesting.
Also, tell us if you think we're actually going to get him. Or if
exactly. Yeah, let us know if you think we're gonna sign him. My personal gut feeling, I said no. I think you said no as well, didn't you, Sam?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think we're nailed on to sign him, but I had this gut feeling. I don't know why. We'll see how that one plays out. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. And Sam, how did you find the head-to-head in general? And where can they find us on socials?
Yeah, it was really. It's shocking how similar they are. Like I know they both wingers, both both dribble really well, both pacey stuff. But yeah, it's quite surprising that a lot of the stats are very much dead on.
Like minor, like 1%.
Away. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see. So if we did sign him, it would make quite a well balanced wing system. So it could be.
And you know, Ten Hag likes his inverted wingers as well, don't you? So you've got 2 inverted wingers there.
But yeah, in terms of socials, we're on TikTok. You did a Fabrizio Romano sort of
saying I'm not asked about Darwin Núñez.
So and it's on like 15,000 views. So whoever watched that, thank you very much. And if we can get some more views on TikTok, that'd be great. We're on Instagram, so there's daily posts on there, news posts. There's posts about the shows. We just started doing some Instagram lives again because that's how we got our start before we started doing YouTube and stuff.
That was like the origin.
Yeah, we'll do a few more of them because they're quite fun and sort of loose and stuff.
Q&As and stuff as well, isn't it?
Follow us on Instagram. We're on Twitter. A lot of new stuff on Twitter and advertise at the shows. So go follow us on Twitter. If you're on YouTube right now, so if you're watching and you're not subscribed, just click the subscribe button. Helps us out so much. We're trying to push to 200 subscribers, so help us out. Like the video, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Drop us a DM on Instagram. Drop us a DM on Twitter. Drop us a DM on TikTok. Always happy to chat football. Always enjoy sort of interacting with people and having at this point a good moan about the Glazers and the way the club's run. But hopefully there'll be some positive stuff about transfers we'll be able to talk about as well. But I think that's it. Oh, Twitch. Go follow us on Twitch because we're trying to do some non-football related gaming on there. Shreyas did some PUBG. Adam did some Call of Duty. I did some Cyberpunk. I'm going to do some Assassin's Creed. And then we've got, if you're watching this now, we've got the FIFA stream tomorrow. Thursday, Nick and Adam, they're going to do Eric Ten Bag returns.
A few whiskies and a stream. So make sure you grab a drink and join us.
It's going all right. It's not going fantastic. Could be better. But
we'll get there. A few signings through the door.
We've signed Darwin Núñez. Might have to bin him off now.
Yeah.
What's happened. Adam is quite loose on the show as well. He did a couple of impressions last week.
We had karaoke as well. We had karaoke. Was drinking whiskey.
Some accents and stuff. So come join. It's a fun time. But yeah, I think that's about it. I think I'm forgetting anything.
Yeah, that's everything. I think that's everything covered. So FIFA stream tomorrow, and then Friday we'll have the usual transfer show. I know last week we had the international roundup is a little bit different, but the transfer show will be back on Friday. So me and Sam, I think we'll be there for that one. And
Saturday or Sunday, I'm probably going to stream. I don't know which day yet, but I'll figure out.
Yeah, we'll let you know either way. Perfect. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you tomorrow for the FIFA stream. As I mentioned, me and Adam will be live about 8 o'clock on there. And hopefully we'll get some breaking news shortly on transfers. Let's see how it plays out.
Fabrizio, mate.
Please.
Give me something, please.
Please. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.